Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out In-Demand Jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange,
And not all our steaks are ribeyes.
but wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road.
Belts strapped and dreams packed.
No distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Good evening and welcome into this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of North Idaho Game Night. Presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. A good one tonight. It is senior night here at Vikings Stadium, the home of the Coeur d'Alene High Vikings, as an Inland Empire League title potentially on the line tonight. Coeur d'Alene with an overall record of 4-3 and a 1-0 record in the IEL, taking on the Post Falls Trojans. They check in with a record of 3-4 and 0-0 in Inland Empire League play. It's the league opener for Post Falls tonight. Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene, what more could you want? Thanks for being with us here on IdahoSports.com. Inside the broadcast booth, Brandon Bainey alongside James Bailey tonight, and Sam Buffington on camera as well. Hey, for a big game like this, we bring in the best. And James and Sam, I'm so excited for this matchup. Let's start with Coeur d'Alene, James. They're the team that defeated Lake City last week in the Crosstown Showdown, 33-12. They took that first step, 1-0 in league play. A win tonight, because there's only 3 teams in the Inland Empire League. A win tonight clinches it for Coeur d'Alene. What's on the line? A first-round bye in the playoffs, a top 4 seed, a home quarterfinal game, all the great things that come with it. However, the task will be difficult. Coeur d'Alene, the walking wounded at this point of the season. Starting quarterback and senior Caden Simmons, one of several seniors honored before the game tonight here on senior night. But Simmons breaks his collarbone 2 weeks ago in that loss to Camas, Washington. Fortunately, Coeur d'Alene's got a pretty good backup waiting in the wings. He could start for a lot of 6A teams around the state, Tanner Stern. However, his mission got a little more difficult tonight. His top 2 wide receivers, Gibson Comstock and Maddox Lindquist, out of the lineup with injuries. And oh, by the way, Coeur d'Alene's most versatile defender, linebacker, safety, rover extraordinaire Ben Murray, he's out tonight as well. So Coeur d'Alene, can they find a way with their depth to come through tonight?
Yeah, you got a quarterback with some great legs in Tanner Stern. He's ran for a lot of yards. He's been a part of some packages to get some yards, so it's not like he hasn't seen the field before. They've used him a pretty decent amount, but like you said, Gibson, Comstock, and having those 2-stop receivers as big targets that are not available to him, that's going to be a challenge. So we'll have to see if he has some repertoire and some chemistry with some of those backup receivers.
Yeah, and it could be more of the run game tonight as well. Stern has run for 416 yards and 3 touchdowns on the season, and they've got a nice 1-2 combo at running back in Priest Palmgren and Ty Paulin, a pair of seniors. The production's eerily similar. Paulin's run for 245 yards and 2 touchdowns. Palmgren, 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. Palmgren says, I'm coming for you tonight. Those 10 yards you've got on me, I'm coming for you tonight. Okay, so Coeur d'Alene is really banged up. If you're a Post Falls fan, you're thinking, hey, this is great. However, Post Falls also is missing several key players throughout the lineup. Jace Ostlund, their starting quarterback when the season began, he's no longer on the team. They've had several players either quit the team or be removed from the team by the administration. I'm sure you heard all about it in the news. They also have players that are injured, like Alexander Scholes, their best offensive lineman. So for Post Falls, the question tonight is, okay, we've got some injuries too. Coach Blaine Bennett pregame said, hey, I'm not worried about the guys that aren't here. I'm worried about the guys that are taking the field for us tonight. And he said, bottom line, we have to start scoring more points.
Yeah, it looks like they're averaging about less than 20 points per game, about 19 points per game. And as a football team, it's difficult to get wins when you're averaging less than 20 points a game, unless you got a staunch defense. With Brandon Felix, their running back, he's put up some good statistics, and they rely on him a lot. We'll see if he can move the ball and create opportunities, and I'm excited to see what some of these fresh faces for Post Falls can put together as far as offensive production.
Yeah, it should be a really fun one tonight. And for Post Falls, they control their own destiny in terms of winning the Inland Empire League. They play Coeur d'Alene tonight, and then they wrap up with Lake City next week in the regular season finale at home. So they could go 2-0 and win the IEL. And for Post Falls right now, that's the only path forward to the playoffs for them. They do not have a strong enough max preps ranking to get an at-large bid. Coeur d'Alene, if they were to lose tonight, probably could still get in via the at-large. But, man, you're competing with all those teams down south from Boise. And you figure Highland, Madison, Rigby, one of those three teams is going to take an at-large. But you just want to take care of business and win the league outright, right?
Yeah, keep it in your hands, absolutely. Don't let the standings decide where you're at. So postseason, win games.
That's right. And, again, the winner of the Inland Empire League will receive a top 4 seed into the playoffs, a first-round bye, a home date for the quarterfinals. Now, for the semis, they would have to hit the road. But that is such a big advantage when we get into November.
Absolutely.
Making a team from Boise have to come all the way up here to Coeur d'Alene where it's cold and windy, and they're not used to that down there in the Banana Belt. Now, that's where you grew up, right? That's a different climate down there in Boise.
Yeah, it's windy and cold down there, too. So, yeah, we get used to it by November. But, yeah, definitely that first break, that bye week for Coeur d'Alene with the injuries and stuff to get fresh legs and stuff would be fantastic.
For sure. Well, we'll take a break for our national anthem. Enjoy our top plays from last week on IdahoSports.com. And when we come back, starting lineups and opening kickoff. We're back right after this North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com. Welcome back to North Idaho Game Night here on IdahoSports.com, live from, Sam, is it Vikings Field? Vikings Stadium? Vikings Field, okay. Brandon Bainey alongside Sam Buffington on camera tonight and James Bailey in the co-captain's seat. We are just about ready for our coin toss here, and you can see walking out onto the field, James, 2 of the 4 Coeur d'Alene captains tonight in street clothes. There's Caden Simmons, number 3, the quarterback with that broken collarbone. He, of course, committed to play Division I basketball at Evansville University in Illinois, the Evansville Purple Aces. They're hoping maybe he misses the first week or 2 of basketball season, and then he can be back for Coeur d'Alene's basketball team this fall. Also in the street clothes tonight, you see right there, number 1 as well for Coeur d'Alene, another key player that's out with a leg injury. Not even on the roster. So this was way back before the season even started. And oh, by the way, Coeur d'Alene, their starting running back, projected starting running back coming into the year, Christian Young, he got hurt before the season even really got started too. So Coeur d'Alene's been dealing with the depth all season long. One thing I do like about Coeur d'Alene and their veteran coach, Sean Amos, I mean, this is his 29th season at Coeur d'Alene, longest tenured coach in one spot in the state of Idaho. 6A coaches are like, they're so stuck on, I have 22 starters. I'm not going to have anybody play both ways. We've got the depth. We've got the talent. Coach Amos goes, hey, if you're good enough, I'm going to play you both ways. We'll see it tonight with Tanner Stern, the starting quarterback. He's going to play linebacker on defense. He's done it with several. You'll see several athletes for Coeur d'Alene tonight play both ways. That helps when injuries do happen. You're not all of a sudden plugging in a guy who hasn't played on defense all season.
Gives you some flexibility, to cover gaps and stuff for sure. I love the commitment to giving your team the best chance to win. So, yeah.
Our coaches' profiles tonight, Sean Amos in his, actually I undersold it, 31st year of coaching overall. He's been at Coeur d'Alene High since 1997. He's gone 194 and 102 in that time. That's a winning percentage of .655. And, oh, by the way, 3 state championships in 2010, 11, and 13. Prior to that, he coached Kellogg for 2 years in 1995 and 96, went 11 and 6-1 with the Wildcats there. He is a Moscow guy, though. He's from the other part of North Idaho. 1986 graduate of Moscow High. Played 1 year at Minot State and then was a running back and special teams player for the Idaho Vandals for the final 4 years of his college career. And that's really where his college career or his coaching career took off. He was an assistant at Moscow, an assistant at Kellogg, and then he's been a head coach basically since 1995. Overall in his career, 205 wins, 108 losses, 1 tie. That's pretty good.
That's an impressive resume.
Blaine Bennett, he's coached a long time too, 10th year at Post Falls. He's 58 and 37 overall. Of course, he coached in college for a long time, coached in Austria one spring for an Austrian football team. We'll talk about that as the game goes along. Frankie Lopez to kick off here for the Vikings. Coeur d'Alene in the black uniforms, Post Falls in the whites. On the return and out to the 15-yard line for Post Falls, there is Cody Matthews, the junior. So here comes the Post Falls offense tonight under the stewardship of Caden Reese, the 6'3 senior, third different quarterback to take snaps for Post Falls this year, completing 41% of his passes, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. This is only his 3rd game of action at quarterback this season. So we'll see, those reps in practice become critical when you're a new guy at QB.
Yeah, you'll get to see how much improvement's actually happening. So he's definitely got the opportunity to prove himself here.
1st and 10 for Post Falls, starting from their own 26-yard line. It's Reese out of a shotgun with the fullback Tomlinson on his right hip. They're going to send the receiver out wide. Now they had too many guys on the field. Now we're ready to go. Reese will take the snap. He's going to throw a quick out route. It's in and out of the hands, incomplete. Intended receiver there was Connor Carver. The rest of the Post Falls starters tonight up front on the offensive line, it is 4 seniors and a junior. Michael O'Connor, Blaine Olson, Ryan Mackley, Cameron Moore, and Samuel Shields. Left tackle to right tackle. Shields at 6'5" and 328 pounds, holding it down at right tackle. Woo. The skill guys tonight, 3 wide receivers, Connor Carver, the senior, Cody Matthews, the junior, Cashton Bodman, the junior, Marshall Tomlinson, the junior, is the fullback, Brandon Felix, the senior, at running back as well. So 2nd and 10 for the Trojans. Reese will turn and give to Felix up the middle, and Felix takes it just shy of the 30-yard line up to the 29. That's going to be a 3-yard gain there for Brandon Felix. The Coeur d'Alene defense tonight, it's going to be a 3-5-3 look. So 3 linemen. The defensive ends are seniors Mateo Ray and Rylan Peterson, senior Anthony Gilly, the nose. 5 linebackers tonight. Seniors Ty Paulin, Ian Dolan, and Priest Palmgren, along with juniors Tanner Stern and Dawson Riley. And then in the secondary, the corners are seniors Bennett Jockheck and George Mitchell, and Daniel Shoup, the senior, will play over the top at safety. A lot of versatile players for Coeur d'Alene defensively. 3rd and 7, screen pass dropped by Matthews. So that's 2 drops on the opening drive here for Post Falls. That's not going to help a young QB.
Not at all. I like what they're trying to do with quick little passes, get out to this outside to get Caden Reese in a rhythm. He threw 2 great balls and hit the receivers square in the hands, and they just ball hit the ground.
So Post Falls will come on to punt here. It'll be Brady Navarrete to punt. And back deep to return for Coeur d'Alene, standing in his own 40-yard line, is Daniel Shoup. And this play blown dead before it can start. We've got a false start here against the Trojans. And anytime you're already punting inside your own 20, a 5-yard penalty, makes it a little more interesting if there's a bad snap or something.
They say football's a game of inches, and 5 yards is a lot of inches. That can make a big difference.
Might help if I put the score back up on the screen. There you go, folks. Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene. First quarter, 11:09 to play, no score. Navarrete to punt again, and now Shoup stands at his own 45-yard line, ready for the return. Navarrete, good deep kick. Retreating is Shoup, over the shoulder grab, back to the 40-yard line and up to the 45. And a good return there for Daniel Shoup. So here comes the Coeur d'Alene offense, quarterbacked by Tanner Stern, the junior. When the season began, he was a starting linebacker and he was the backup quarterback, but they had some packages for him offensively. He even, dabbled a little bit at wide receiver along with Caden Simmons. They would kind of trade off. But now he's the guy. With Caden Simmons out for the rest of the season, he is the unquestioned starter. completing 66% of his passes, 429 yards, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. So Stern, of course, his dad played at Lake City High School in the 90s, was a great quarterback. And now here's Tanner suiting up for the other guys, Coeur d'Alene High. 1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene from their own 45-yard line. Stern, first down, complete on a slant. It's going to be a pickup of about 2 yards. On the reception for the Vikings there is Riley Frazier, the senior, one of the new starters in the lineup tonight with Gibson Comstock and Maddox Lindquist both out. Coeur d'Alene's going to run up tempo here, so we will get you the rest of the Vikings starters here in just a moment. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Option play, pitch off the right side. This is Ty Paulin, and Paulin's going to pick up 2 to make it 3rd down and, well, they'll call it 3rd and 5 officially, so a 3-yard run there for Paulin. And so it's going to be 3rd and manageable here for Coeur d'Alene. The offensive line for Coeur d'Alene tonight, 4 seniors and a sophomore left to right. David Scott, Connor Kagi, Dylan Memmott, Colt Robertson, and the sophomore Brady Thompson at right tackle. The receivers tonight are Jackson Hackett, the junior, Riley Frazier, the senior, and George Mitchell, the senior. The H-back is Daniel Shoup, the senior. Running back is Ty Paulin, a senior, and then Tanner Stern at quarterback. They go up the middle. Only a yard gained there for Ty Paulin. It's going to be 4th down and 4. The Post Falls defense tonight, up front on the defensive line, the seniors, defensive ends, Benedict Brassy and Cruz Wyjack. The defensive tackles are a pair of juniors, Cash Preston and Cash Creeman. Linebackers are seniors Damian Hamilton and Alexander Dean. Noah Engel, the junior, plays the middle. In the secondary, junior Cody Matthews and senior Connor Carver are the corners. Junior Micaiah Quincy and sophomore Jackson Harvey are the safeties. 4th and 3. Coeur d'Alene's going to go for it. Quarterback keeper with Stern. Try to find the edge. He's got the first down. Needed 3. Picks up 5. Well, on 4th down, James, you go to the guy you trust the most.
There's that running ability we were talking about from Tanner.
So Tanner Stern picks up 5 to move the chains here. 9 minutes to play first quarter. No score. Opening drive of the game for the Vikings. And again, Coeur d'Alene going up tempo here, not messing around. Stern will hand off. No, fakes the handoff to Paulin. Slings it. Incomplete. Intended for Daniel Shoup, the H-back. That falls incomplete. So Coeur d'Alene High, they don't have tight ends or fullbacks necessarily. They have H-backs. He can kind of line up all over. He'll line up in the backfield. He'll line up as the tight end. This time he's lined up in the slot. It's one of the more versatile positions on the Coeur d'Alene offense. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Stern again out of the gun. Ball is at the Post Falls 43-yard line. 8:46 to play first quarter. Stern changing the play at the line of scrimmage here. For the moment, Post Falls looks like they're only going to send 4. Everybody into the pattern. Quarterback draw for Stern across the 40 and out to the 38-yard line for Tanner Stern. And again, that QB run. They're giving him one read, and, well, I mean, that time that was just the design draw. That's a gain of 5 to make it 3rd and 5.
Yeah, a little QB trap right up the middle. Spread it out and then run it right up the middle.
So officially 4 there for Stern. 3rd and 6 for the Vikings. Ball marked back at the Post Falls 39-yard line. Coeur d'Alene 0 for 1 on 3rd down so far tonight. They did pick up that 4th down earlier in the drive. Stern fakes to Paulin. Screen pass complete in the flat to Riley Frazier. Second effort is close. He is going to be ultimately 2.5 yards shy of the first down. But boy, Frazier getting the start tonight in place of the injured Comstock and is able to keep the feet moving and get 2 yards to make it 4th and 4.
That looked like a great play from that Post Falls cornerback. It looked like he stopped it early, but the great extra effort from Frazier. Get some yards.
And then down goes Frazier. An old boxing reference nobody will get. 4th and 3. Stern and company trying to convert their second 4th down of the drive. They'll get the signal from Ron Nelson, the offensive coordinator, on the sidelines there for Coeur d'Alene. 7:20 and rolling, scoreless first quarter. Coeur d'Alene trying to change that, and now they'll have to take a timeout. So first timeout of the contest here for the Vikings. Well, we want to thank our power boosters tonight here on IdahoSports.com. These are really the lifeblood of what we do here at IdahoSports.com. And, well, it turns out we don't have any for either one of these schools. So if you're out there listening and you would like to be a power booster on IdahoSports.com, it's super easy. Just send an email to sales@IdahoSports.com. Essentially, we have team pages for every high school in Idaho, right? So for Coeur d'Alene High School, we have a page for football, boys soccer, girls soccer, volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball. If you sign up to be a power booster on IdahoSports.com, it's one flat rate for the entire year. Your website banner, it's a clickable banner that directs people to your website. It is on every single Coeur d'Alene High team page. It's a great way for you to, A, show your local community that you support the local high school athletes, and B, it's a great way. I mean, we get thousands of clicks to IdahoSports.com every single day, and if somebody's on the Coeur d'Alene page and they see your banner, want to learn more about your business, all they have to do is click it, and you're going to get views on your webpage. It's a win-win. So email sales@IdahoSports.com for more details. Okay, what do you drop here on 4th and 3, James?
Another Tanner Stern run. Bread and butter. Don't go away from it.
Mitchell in motion. They give to Paulin this time off the edge right side, and Ty Paulin will have enough for the first down. He's right at the marker, and they're going to say, yep, go ahead and move the chains. Move the chains. Move the chains. So that's what that QB run does, James, right? It sets up the possibility of you fake there and then give to the tailback.
When the quarterbacks are running threat, defense has to be honest to that, and that sets things up. But great job getting out to the edge as fast as possible by number 22, Ty Paulin, on that one. So Post Falls defensive line looked like they were solid there, but he got out to the edge.
7:08 to play first quarter, first drive of the game for Coeur d'Alene. They're actually taking a lot of time on the clock despite the up-tempo offense. 1st and 10, Stern will keep it again, nowhere to go. He's able to string out for 2 yards, but boy, I'll tell you what, Cruz Wyjack was in there from the jump, and Wyjack, the senior defensive end, makes sure Stern only picks up 2.
He did a good job reading that option run that Coeur d'Alene gave him right there. The option to give that running back the ball or pull it and take it, and the defensive end called it correctly.
2nd and 8 for the Vikings from the Post Falls 31. Deep drop here for Stern. On the run, fires, incomplete. Contact and a flag comes out. In the neighborhood for Post Falls defensively that time was Jackson Harvey, the young sophomore safety. And the pass was a little bit behind Frazier, but he did, as Harvey was closing, did make contact on the backside there. Oh, man, our referee is mic'd up tonight as well. I'm not used to that. A lot of the games I've been at this year are 8-man, where the budget's not quite as big as, a 6A school. So that's a significant penalty, though, 15 yards.
Yeah.
Sets up 1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene at the Post Falls 16-yard line here. And again, Stern was looking for Frazier. I mean, this is a guy that had rotated in at receiver but actually gets the start tonight, and he's been the only guy Stern's looked for besides Shoop. 1st and 10. Fake to Paulin. Keep with Stern. Around the edge. Inside the 10. Finally ridden down at the 9-yard line. Coming up to make the stop was the corner that time for Post Falls. Actually, coming up to make that stop defensively was Connor Carver from the secondary. It's going to be a 7-yard gain there for Stern. So it's going to be 2nd and 3 here. Ball is at the Post Falls 9-yard line. They've got to get to the 6 for the first down. Man, we are outside with the fans tonight. I can smell the hamburgers and hot dogs wafting up here.
It does smell nice, doesn't it?
As I was coming into the stadium tonight, as they give to Paulin up the middle here. Flag comes out as well. We'll see what the call is here. For the moment, Paulin right at the first down marker. So I was coming into the stadium tonight. I ran into Tony Perka, the athletic director here from Coeur d'Alene, and I said, I was wondering if we could get into the booth. And then the guy running the grill says, hey, when you're done with that, we need the grease bucket. And I was like, oh, boy, it's going to be a good cookout night if they're asking for the grease bucket. So holding against the Vikings there. Okay, you're doing a cookout, James. You got one choice, burgers or dogs. What are you going with?
Burgers, all the way. Burgers, cheese, some smash burgers. Yep. American cheese, good old-fashioned greasy nonsense. Delicious.
You can do more with a burger, I feel like, than a dog.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree, yeah. Unless you're in Chicago, maybe, but.
Yeah. 2nd and 12 now, following the 10-yard holding penalty. Stern going to keep it up the middle. Takes it across the 15. Maybe right at that 15-yard line. He's going to pick up 4 to make it 3rd and 9 here. It's always hard to tell with the soccer lines painted on here, the turf here at Viking Field. Congratulations to the Coeur d'Alene boys soccer team. They qualified for state. The girls soccer team has a play-in match tomorrow. That's batted away and incomplete. Wow. Big bear paws of Benedict Brassy, 6'8", 212-pound senior defensive end.
6'8". That's a tall kid, and it showed right there. Great getting you. There was definitely a screen call there, and great job getting your hands up and batting that ball down.
Yeah, boy, you can't coach height, and Brassy bats that one away. And they're going to bring on Frankie Lopez, the field goal kicker here for Coeur d'Alene. This is going to be a field goal try, and that's blocked. Post Falls blocks it. Frankie Lopez's field goal try is blocked and recovered by the Trojans, Connor Carver. I didn't see who came through to block that field goal, but Post Falls has done that a couple of times this season.
That ball looked pretty low, so I'm not sure it would have made it through and made it anyways. But, yeah, excellent block. Honestly, the reaction to the recovery on that seemed a little bit slow. I'm not sure they understood that that's a live ball.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene could have scooped that up, and
he almost did.
I don't think you can advance it, but you could have fallen on it, certainly. So that was ultimately a 30-yard field goal try from Frankie Lopez that is blocked. And so with 4:52 to play in the first quarter, still no score.
Little bend but don't break action from the Post Falls defense.
And for a team that's averaging about 19 points per game, that's what they need. But
yes.
Boy, now backed up in their own end zone, essentially. They will start 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line. They will give up the middle here. That's Brandon Felix. And Felix will pick up 2. Anthony Gilly, the big nose tackle, in there on the stop for Coeur d'Alene. You don't want to you got to keep it pretty vanilla here when you're backed up deep in your own territory.
Try to get yourself some space before you get fancy with it.
Yeah, from their own 8-yard line here, 2nd and 8. Reese out of the gun. It's going to be a counter play for Felix, trying to find the edge. Is cut down at the 10-yard line. Flag came out at the end of the play. This looks like it might be against Coeur d'Alene on the tackle. Nice job that time defensively, closing the door quickly. If he would just turn around, I could see his number. Thank you. That was Bennett Jockheck, the cornerback, but I think this is going to be against Coeur d'Alene. Face mask, 15-yard face mask penalty, so tack on 15 yards at the end of the run, and now Post Falls has the breathing room. 1st and 10 from their own 26.
All right, stepped off 15 yards. 1st and 10 for the Trojans.
4:05 to play first quarter, no score. Second drive of the game for the Trojans here on North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com. Where else would you rather be?
I think this is a great time for Caden Reese to get his first completion. 1st and 10 after getting out of the shadow of your own end zone.
0 for 2 tonight, but both of them catchable balls that were dropped. It's going to be a double handoff. He went to Felix first and then to Tomlinson, and Coeur d'Alene says, we were ready for that, and they blow it up in the backfield. I mean, leading the charge defensively that time. I mean, there was like 4 Vikings in there on the tackle, but the first guy in there was Rylan Peterson, the senior defensive end. Tomlinson loses 6 yards on that carry.
Yeah, it looked like an offensive lineman might have got blown back, and Tomlinson was actually hurdling over him in the backfield. That kind of slowed up the mesh and did not get a chance to develop.
Yeah, that right side of the line collapsed, and Peterson, that defensive end on the left side, was the guy that went in there and made the play. So 2nd and 16 for the Trojans after the 6-yard loss by Tomlinson. They get the snap down. They give to Felix, and again, Felix nowhere to go. Up to the 20. It's pretty much right back to the line of scrimmage. And again, Peterson, the guy in on the tackle for Coeur d'Alene. So now here comes what I call the edge rushing package for Coeur d'Alene on 3rd and long here. Anthony Gilly, the nose, will check out, and they'll bring in Jackson Hackett to kind of rush off the edge here.
A couple of guys that pin their ears back and go get a sack.
3rd and 15 officially from the 21-yard line of the Trojans. Reese throws, it's batted in the air and incomplete. That was the guy I just mentioned came in, Jackson Hackett. He comes in on 3rd downs, and he makes a play defensively. So back-to-back possessions where we've seen the defensive end, Brissy for Post Falls, Hackett for Coeur d'Alene with a big swat down on 3rd down. And now a punting situation here. Navarrete will come out to punt again for the Trojans with 2:11 to play first quarter. And Shoup back to return at his own 45. And again, Navarrete.
Good punt.
Good one. It's muffed! That punt is muffed! And I think Coeur d'Alene falls back on top of it. Yes, Shoup falls on it at his own 41-yard line, but boy, Post Falls and Alexander Dean almost got in there to recover.
Almost gave them a gift.
That's one where you just signaled the fair catch and you make it, although he caught it and then dropped it, so I guess that wouldn't have mattered.
As a football fan, it is one of my least favorite plays, that muffed punt. Enough to give a guy a heart attack.
So 1st and 10 here for Coeur d'Alene. Drive will start from their own 42-yard line officially. Senior night for the Vikings. 1-0 in IEL play. A win tonight would give them the Inland Empire League title. They have one non-conference game to go next week. Here's Priest Palmgren across the 50 and a gain of 10 and a first down. First carry of the night for Priest Palmgren. And he says, hey, I was 10 yards behind Ty Paulin on the rushing leaderboard. I'm coming for you.
I'm catching up.
10 yards right there.
Again, on that jet sweep option play with Tanner Stern, looking like an option to run. He's definitely given that defensive pause. But
1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene from the Post Falls 48, 1:40 to play first quarter. Palmgren gets the call again. Nowhere to go this time, brought down for a loss of yardage. 2 Trojans in on the stop defensively, Cash Preston and Cash Creeman, the 2 Cashes. They both play inside at defensive tackle, but they spell their names differently. Cash Preston is Cash with a C. Cash Creeman is Cash with a K. They probably did that because his last name Creeman also starts with a K.
Yeah, it sounds like they were definitely meant to play next to each other.
Yeah. Cash money that time for sure. So Palmgren loses a yard, 2nd and 11. Deep ball, it is dropped over the shoulder. Potentially for Frazier. It falls incomplete, though, in 3rd and 11. I mean, that was a perfectly delivered ball, James.
Great pass to the wheel route out of the backfield. Man, over the shoulder. Wish that ball was caught. It was a great ball from Tanner Stern.
And that was actually, Palmgren who dropped that.
Yeah.
So, oh, man. Tough one for sure. It's going to be. There have been drops on both sides tonight for sure. 3rd and 11. 1:07 to play first quarter. The Vikings trying to convert here. Stern will send Palmgren into the pattern. This is what they did last time on the QB draw. They're going to draw back the pass this time. Post Falls bring in the heat.
Good pressure.
And Stern is sacked back at the 50-yard line. Coming through to make the sack defensively. Brissy was in there, and also it looked like Cash Preston, number 35.
That was Cash Preston with the sack there. Great pressure from the Post Falls defensive line.
And that will bring up 4th down in a punting situation here. Frankie Lopez will punt. You know, he had been just the kicker for most of the season. Caden Simmons, the quarterback, was actually the punter, but he's now injured. So Lopez will punt here. It's a high wobbler. Trying to place it on a roll. It's going to take a Vikings roll inside the 10, and they're going to try and wind assist. It's going to be down right at the 5-yard line. Boy, for Frankie Lopez, that's a pretty good punt.
Yeah, great roll. Great fortunate roll. Once again, Post Falls finds themselves in the shadow of their own end zone for offense. So
you see this in the NFL sometimes where, like, because of great special teams and whatnot, it's just a field position game where, like, one team is just, like, perpetually trapped on their, like, inside their own 10-yard line, it seems like, for the entire first half. That's kind of what Post Falls has been feeling like here in this first quarter with just 21 seconds to go.
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, you can really control the play calling that an offense really has options for by when they're pinned inside their own 10. It definitely can scare an offensive coordinator away from certain plays.
1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 5. This is Brandon Felix across the 10 up to the 12-yard line. That might take us to the end of the period. That's a pretty good run there for Felix, a gain of 7 to make it 2nd and 3. And that will indeed take us to the end of the period. So after 1, hey, this is what we all expected, right? A knock him down, drag him out fight. It's Coeur d'Alene nothing, Post Falls nothing. We'll flip the field and come back for the second quarter right after this. You're watching North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
We're Valley-wide cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Welcome back to Vikings Field here at Coeur d'Alene High School, North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Brandon Bainey with James Bailey and Sam Buffington tonight as we start the second quarter of play. No score between Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls. It is a 2nd and 3 for the Trojans. Felix will get the call. He'll get 5 and a first down out to the 20. So again, Post Falls is finding,
some space,
a little bit of that breathing room.
They seem content to give Brandon Felix the ball and try to make some things happen right now. We'll see when they try to open it up, because the last drive it kind of seemed like Coeur d'Alene cued in on Felix and
Wind's starting to pick up here a little bit. My pen blew away. And this play blown dead before it can start. Looks like Coeur d'Alene may be encroached. Oh, offside, so they just lined up in the neutral zone.
take yards any way you can right now.
Yeah, if you're Post Falls, right?
Gotta love a 1st and 5. This is a great time to open it up if I'm an offensive coordinator.
Okay, so what are you calling here, Coach?
Throw the ball. Play action. Brandon Felix, you've ran the ball 2 times in a row successfully. Time to open it up downfield. Try to make something happen.
Yeah, Reese is 0 for 2 passing tonight. 2 drops. Two catchable balls, kind of short passes. It's going to be another screen. Matthews with the reception, and absolutely demolished at the end of the play. Big hit delivered there from Coeur d'Alene's. Oh, my gosh, that is a huge hit delivered by Ian Dolan, the senior linebacker. It is ultimately a gain of 3 to make it 2nd and 2.
There's your first completion of the night. Caden Reese.
Matthews wishing it had gone to somebody else. Reese says that's for dropping that one earlier. No, this is a good play by Dolan for sure. 2nd and 2 for the Trojans from their own 28-yard line. Post Falls in the whites. Felix will get the call again, trying to counter, nowhere to go. Coeur d'Alene there defensively. That defensive front, it's only 3 down linemen, but they clog up a lot to make the linebackers come in and make the plays. And so it's no gain on the carry for Brandon Felix. It's going to be 3rd and 2. 10 minutes to play in a fast-moving first half. I'm cool with this. I might make it home by 9 o'clock at this rate, guys. I'm all right with that. No score. 9:50 to play before halftime.
It's the kind of game you want when you only score about 19 points a game. So
yeah, this definitely favors Post Falls, right?
So far, it's going the way Post Falls would want it to.
Coeur d'Alene averaging about 29 points per game. And we've got a timeout here by Post Falls. So we were talking about kind of the 6A playoff picture and who's looking good to get in and who isn't. right now, Rigby has won the East, so they are going to be first-round bye. Coeur d'Alene, we talked about, could win the North tonight with the win. Eagle has already clinched one of the top 2 spots down in District 3. They will play in the Southern Idaho Conference Championship next week against the winner of Rocky Mountain and Timberline. They're playing tonight. So those 5 right there, let's say Rigby, Coeur d'Alene, Eagle, Rocky Mountain, Timberline, those 5 look pretty solid. Okay. Madison looks good from the East. Highland looks good from the East. So then you're thinking, all right, if I'm Post Falls or I'm Coeur d'Alene and I'm trying to compete for an at-large bid, I'm competing against all the other Boise schools, and there's 2 spots available. Yeah. Teams like Mountain View, Owyhee, Boise, Capital, Meridian. You can see how daunting that could be.
Yeah, definitely best to keep it in your own hands. Just try to win the games here and make sure it happens.
And the Trojans, again, it appears their only path to the playoffs is to win the conference, win the league. 3rd and 2, pass a little far in front and incomplete. 4th down, Connor Carver, the intended receiver there, and Post Falls will once again come on to punt.
That down felt pretty important. I think that's why the timeout was called, to try to make sure that they keep this drive moving. So,
and, out of the timeout, a 2-yard out. If Carver makes that catch, he's right at the sideline. I don't know if he was at the marker or not. It was very close.
It was close.
4th down, Navarrete to punt again, his 3rd punt of the night. Line drive, he's done a nice job. Shoop from his own 38 makes 1 man miss, makes a 2nd man miss, and finally the 3rd man brings him down. Nice tackle there from Post Falls is Cash Preston coming down to make the tackle.
It's been everywhere so far tonight.
Those D tackles are smaller, that's how Coach Bennett likes his D tackles, to shoot the gaps. Cash Preston, only 5'10" and 180 pounds.
Well, he's playing large.
Actually, sorry, 5'11", 208. The other one, Creeman, is 184.
Gotcha.
So 1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene from their own 43-yard line here. No score, 9:27 to play before halftime. This is Paulin up the middle, and Ty Paulin will be brought down right at the 50-yard line. Gain of 7 there on 1st down. In on the tackle for Post Falls that time was Charles Williams. Actually, Alex Williams. So 7-yard gain for Paulin. 2nd and 3. Paulin will get the carry again, has the 1st down across the 45, up to the 42, and a 1st down. Gain of 8 for Ty Paulin. The market back at the 43, still 1st and 10. Get the feeling Coeur d'Alene is kind of like, hey, we're better than this. We're just going to line up and run the ball, and good luck stopping us.
Yeah, those two plays definitely felt like, let's stop playing around and hit the hole hard.
Quarterback keeper for Stern this time. Hits the edge, hits the turbo. 1st down, out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. A gain of 13 and a 1st down. Alexander Dean, number 9 for Post Falls, thought he had the edge and then was whiffing at air as Stern ran right around him.
Made a nice move inside and then bounced out.
So 1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene. Ball at the Post Falls 31-yard line officially here. Stern out of the gun with Paulin, the tailback. Everyone bunched in tight this time. Stern on the rollout. Right side, throws over the middle, too high, incomplete. Intended receiver was Jackson Hackett. Hackett ran that route at about 12 yards, and Stern threw it at about 16.
A little bit over his head. Would have been a very impressive catch.
I mean, the other thing, Stern is 1 of 5 tonight passing.
Yeah, they haven't shown that they've been able to do that yet.
He was rolling out the opposite way that time. He had to throw across his body. Right-handed quarterback was rolling out to the left.
It's always a difficult throw.
2nd and 10 for the Vikings, 8:25 to play before halftime. They keep with Stern up the middle, and he runs right into a wall of Trojan defenders. And again, that Post Falls defensive front playing well. That was Cruz Wyjack, the senior defensive end, on the tackle. No gain on the play. 8 minutes to play before halftime. Still looking for our first points of the night. 3rd and 10 for Coeur d'Alene from the 31. What do you dial up here?
I'm at a loss at this point. Yeah, so I feel like you kind of have to pass the ball here, but run right up the middle.
They go with Paulin. He's got the room to run inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Coeur d'Alene. 31-yard touchdown run for Ty Paulin.
There was nothing but space on that run. Great blocking by the CDA offensive line.
Well, we're geniuses, right? Oh, yeah, probably going to pass it here. And Ty Paulin says, see you later.
It just goes to show, sometimes you just got to run the ball.
Post Falls obviously expecting the pass. And Paulin hits the edge and takes it in from 31 yards out. So 7:40 to play here before halftime. And we finally have a score. The extra point by Frankie Lopez is through as well. So it is 7-0 Coeur d'Alene with 7:40 to play here before halftime. Back right after this, you're watching North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Welcome back to Vikings Field here in Coeur d'Alene, and the hometown Vikings jump in front 7-0 on a 31-yard touchdown run by Ty Paulin, subsequent PAT by Frankie Lopez. Lopez now to kick off here for the Vikings as well. Matthews back deep to return for the Trojans. Matthews will take it at the 6. Will fake the handoff to the other return man and get clobbered shy of the 20-yard line. Oh my goodness, Coeur d'Alene on senior night coming out firing. A big hit delivered there on special teams. And with the stick that time defensively for the Vikings was number 10, Riley Frazier.
He's doing some work today.
Yeah, he's playing receiver on offense. He's dabbled on defense this year, special teams gunner. Wow.
Loving the opportunity to get out on the field.
So now, Post Falls, 7:35 to play before halftime, and they got the ball to start the game. You feel like this is kind of an important possession. Only down 7-0, but man, the yards have been tough to come by tonight. 1st and 10 from their own 20. They'll give up the middle to Brandon Felix, pickup of 4. Oh, they'll give him 5 to the 25-yard line. Yeah, officially it's going to be 4 yards there for Felix. 2nd and 6 for Post Falls from their own 24-yard line. You can probably hear it on our mics. The wind definitely picking up here at Vikings Field.
It's starting to become a brisk October night.
Brisk, I like it. 7 minutes to go before halftime. Reese out of the gun. We'll give to Felix, looking for the edge. Has it! The 20, the 40, the 50, still going. Flag comes out at the end of the run. This could be coming back on an illegal block downfield, but depending on where the flag was thrown, ooh, back at the 28. I was going to say maybe it was enough for the first down, still with the penalty yardage, but we'll sort it out. And there have not been a lot of big plays tonight for Post Falls, so when they rip one off and it comes back on the flag, that hurts.
Kind of feels like Felix finally found that second level space, and wonder if this is going to be a holding call to bring this back.
Yeah, it's going to be holding. And I'm wondering if that was on one of the wide receivers out on the edge blocking there, because Felix had hit the edge, and then that's when the flag came out.
He had already gained about 4 or 5 yards by the time that was thrown.
And then the new popular phrase amongst coaches with wide receivers, of course, is you don't block, you don't get the rock.
I like it.
So after that holding call, 2nd and 12 officially for the Trojans.
You hate that as a running back. You bust a big one only to see it come back.
Post Falls taking their time in the huddle here. They're going to have to hustle up to the line. 6:20 to play before halftime. Trailing 7-0 here to Coeur d'Alene. From their own 18-yard line, Reese out of the gun. 2 backs with them. Felix gets the call again, straight up the middle this time, and maybe 2 yards, right back to the 20 where we started this thing to make it 3rd and 10. All right, Coach Bailey, 3rd and 10. What are you dialing up here for the Trojans?
I might give it to Felix on the edge again. So just give him some space. He seems to be the only thing that's happening right for this Post Falls offense. Maybe play action and a quick strike, a seam to a tight end or a slant down the middle. They've been passing the balls out to the edges in the flats. Not much doing with that. I think you need to take a shot or give it to Felix. Let him make something happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, all the passing there's been nothing in the middle yet tonight for Post Falls. They've got 3 receivers stacked to the right side you see there. They're going to take a deep shot looking for his man. It's caught at the 40-yard line. Was he inbounds?
I believe he lost control of that ball.
Oh, at the end of the play. Oh, that would have been a fantastic catch by Cashton Bodman, but incomplete 4th down. I like the idea. Basically, the 2 outside receivers kind of ran interference there, and then Bodman, the slot guy, kind of open on the corner route.
They've got some tall, athletic receivers. Put the ball up. Let them try to make a play.
Incomplete pass, though, and Reese remains 1 of 5. Both quarterbacks 1 of 5 passing tonight. So Navarrete to punt again. Shoop to return at his own 45. Navarrete's gotten some great kicks off tonight. Shoop's got to retreat back to his 39. On the return, the 50, the 45, the 40. And a nice return of 17 yards for Daniel Shoop on the punt return. And Coeur d'Alene will start in Post Falls territory, 1st and 10 at the Trojans' 39-yard line. With 5:04 to play here before halftime, prime opportunity for the Vikings to do the old 2-for-1. You score right before halftime, you get the ball to start the second half, you score again. And boy, if Coeur d'Alene did that and went up 21-0, I just don't know if Post Falls is going to be able to overcome that.
It's a lot of momentum against you, yeah.
So we'll see what Coeur d'Alene does for an encore here after their last drive ended with a 31-yard touchdown run from Ty Paulin. Stern will start with 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Single receiver to the bottom. Palmgren will get the call off the right side. Still going! Somehow escapes! Inside the 20! Still rumbling! Inside the 5! And finally brought down. 1st and goal for Coeur d'Alene.
That was an impressive run. Some great contact balance.
Praised Palmgren from the 39 all the way down. They'll mark him back at the 8-yard line. That is a gain of 21 and a 1st down. So 1st and goal for Coeur d'Alene from the 9. Up the middle, Tanner Stern into the end zone for the touchdown. Like the parting of the Red Sea, that middle of the defense opened up and Stern takes it in from 9 yards out.
Kind of felt like the dam broke on that one with the Post Falls defense.
And the extra point from Lopez through once again, and so 14-0. Coeur d'Alene with 4:31 to play here before halftime. Back in 30 seconds. You're watching North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
When it's time to get health insurance, Your Health Idaho is the place to go. It's Idaho's health insurance marketplace where you can shop and compare plans from well-known insurance companies and lower your monthly premium with a tax credit you can't get anywhere else. Plus, certified local agents can find you the right plan for free. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
Back at Vikings Field in Coeur d'Alene, North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com. Brandon Maney with James Bailey and Sam Buffington on camera tonight. And now 14-0 Coeur d'Alene after Tanner Stern runs in a 9-yard touchdown. But really it was set up by the 20-yard run by Priest Palmgren, where he should have been tackled 3 different times and refused to go down.
Very impressive run. I'm not sure how he slipped out of one of those tackles. Looks like he got low and leg strength pushed him through.
Lopez kick goes through the end zone for a touchback, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Post Falls, starting from their own 20-yard line. So now 4:31 to play before halftime. You know, when they were down 7-0, I said, okay, this was an important drive for Post Falls. This is now like a must-score drive for the Trojans, down 2 scores.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to come away with something before halftime to give your defense and your whole team the confidence to say, we can win this game, we can stay in this, yeah.
So Caden Reese and company will start from their own 20-yard line here. Plenty of time, 4:31 to go here before halftime. Coeur d'Alene up 14-0. A pair of touchdown runs from Ty Paulin and Tanner Stern. And flag comes out before they can even get set and run a play.
I believe we're going to see a delay of game here.
False start. Nope. Oh, illegal substitution. Coaches, I think most coaches will tell you, like holding calls, pass interference, you know, those are penalties on effort plays. You can live with those. It's the pre-snap penalties that'll drive a coach insane, right?
Yep, that's that rough stuff you try to clean up. Those are those rough edges.
So 1st and 15 for the Trojans now from their own 15. Felix on the carry. Maybe 2 up to the 17-yard line. You know, those holes are there, but they close fairly quickly. This Coeur d'Alene defense is fast and athletic, especially with 5 linebackers running around out there tonight because of injuries and whatnot.
Got a lot of good closing speed, that's for sure.
3-yard gain for Felix to make it 2nd and 12 from their own 18-yard line. 4 minutes to play here before halftime as well. Reese out of the pistol. Felix the deep back. We talked about Blaine Bennett, the head coach. He's been a great offensive mind for years and years in football. They're going to toss to Felix. Nowhere to go. Blown up in the backfield. Loses 2 yards, and we're right back to where we started. It'll be 3rd and 15. So we talked about Coach Bennett, 1983 graduate of Walla Walla High School in Washington. The town's so nice they named it twice. He then played quarterback for the University of Idaho and then for his dad at Whitworth College in Washington. And from there, graduate assistant at Washington State, offensive coordinator at Cal State Chico, wide receivers coach at the University of Idaho, offensive coordinator at Western Oregon, head coach at Western Oregon, quarterbacks coach at Purdue. From 2001 to 05, coached a guy named Kyle Orton who played in the NFL. Pretty good. He was then the head coach at Central Washington, an assistant coach at Eagle High School, head coach of the Graz Giants in Austria we talked about, and then 10 years here at Post Falls High School. So he went at Western Oregon, 27-32, NAIA program. Then he coaches at Central Washington over in Ellensburg. That's a Division II program, went 68-48 there. And then here at Post Falls, 58-37 overall. So he's winning games at about a 60% clip throughout his career. And oh, by the way, you know, he's coached at Purdue, we mentioned, quarterbacks coach, and then he was the assistant head coach at Michigan State in 2006 and 07. So, I mean, brilliant offensive mind.
It's a long career in football, that's for sure. I'd love to see what football's like in Austria.
Yes. How do you, I mean, I'm sure he didn't know their name, like
the
pronounce their names.
Giants?
Yeah, the Graz Giants. Hey, you, 7, get over here. Out of the timeout, 3rd and 15, Reese in trouble, escapes, on the run, throws a deep ball. It is over everybody's head and incomplete. Closest guy to it was Cody Matthews, but it's about 10 yards over his head. Incomplete pass, 4th down. And Post Falls will punt again here with 2:34 to play before halftime.
I'd like to see him take more shots earlier on the downs a little bit. get Coeur d'Alene's defense backed up. I think they could make something happen with those big wideouts, throwing the ball downfield. And at this point, Brandon Felix is all that Coeur d'Alene's defense has to stop, and they're just queuing on him.
Yeah, really teeing up there defensively. Navarrete will punt from his own end zone. Nearly blocked. Gets off a wobbler. Will roll to the 46-yard line and be down there where it'll be 1st and 10. So second consecutive drive where Coeur d'Alene will start in Post Falls territory. The Vikings trying to win their 3rd consecutive Inland Empire League title. They've won the last 2 matchups with Post Falls as well. They won last year on Post Falls' homecoming, 21-0. The year before that, they won 34-21, but wasn't that long ago, 2022, Post Falls knocks off Coeur d'Alene 21-6. It's been a pretty good rivalry over the years.
A little bit of bad blood between the neighbors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love a good hometown rivalry.
Post Falls, you know, if they don't win the Inland Empire League and they're not good enough to get an at-large bid, you know, it would be the first time they've missed out on the playoffs since 2021. So you're talking about, you know, a 4-year playoff appearance streak potentially on the line here.
A little bit of a step back, yeah.
Timeout Coeur d'Alene. Their second timeout of the half here. And, I mean, for the Vikings, I mean, just a storied football program, 5 championships in school history. The first one came all the way back in 1982. They won in 85. 2010, 11, and 13. That 1982 championship team, right when you walk into the press box here.
Yeah, I was seeing those.
You see the team photo, right? The 1982 state champs. And when Sean Amos took over this Coeur d'Alene program in 1997, Coeur d'Alene was in the dumps. Lake City was the premier power here in Coeur d'Alene. They had the legendary Van Troxel coaching them. And, you know, it took Coach Amos about 4 years to really build up this Coeur d'Alene program. But ever since, it has been all Vikings. And Coach Bennett for Post Falls told me this tonight. He says, hey, we know this every year. The Inland Empire League title runs through Coeur d'Alene High. You want to win it, you got to beat these guys. Out of the timeout, 1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene from the 45 of Post Falls. Stern has time, fires it deep, looking for his man. It's off the chest and incomplete. Jackson Hackett, the intended receiver, had to turn around, but man, right off the chest, incomplete.
All the opportunity to catch that ball.
So Stern now 1 of 6 passing, but man, there's been some catchable balls that have been dropped.
Yeah, that 1 of 6. I don't know that that's all his fault for sure. So
it's a cold night here in Coeur d'Alene. We're probably temperature around 40 now, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to catch that ball. It's like hard as a rock when it gets cold, right?
It has seemed like it's been an issue for both teams. So
2nd and 10. Coeur d'Alene will go back to the run. Up to the 40-yard line is Ty Paulin. They'll officially mark him down back at the 41, so a gain of 4.
Gain of 6 yards. Check that, 5 yards on the play. 2nd down and 5.
So 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Vikings. Obvious 2-down territory for Coeur d'Alene here in Post Falls territory. 1:50 to play before halftime. Tanner Stern, deep drop. Out route nearly intercepted. Dropped at the last moment by Jackson Harvey, the sophomore safety.
Great play closing on that route.
And again, showing what a football expert I am. I said, obvious 2-down territory. Here comes Coeur d'Alene on to punt. You know, this is Coach Amos trusting his defense and saying, we've got a better chance of scoring if we pin Post Falls deep and we maybe force a turnover.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good idea. You're up 14-0 right before half. Let's not give Post Falls something to celebrate.
Lopez on the punt. Fair catch called for and made by Harvey at his own 7-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Trojans. 1:41 to play before halftime. Can Post Falls put something together right before halftime? If they do, they're right back in the ballgame. It's only 14-0.
That's the good thing. Not much has happened offensively. So sometimes if you can keep a game close, you get one lucky play, all of a sudden your team's back in it.
See what Post Falls can get going here. 1:41 to play before halftime. They do have 1 timeout remaining. Each side has 1 timeout to play with here. Reese will start out of the shotgun. with one back, Felix. They'll toss to Felix off the edge, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Dawson Riley and Mateo Ray in on the tackle to combo there for Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, and officially no gain there for Felix.
Tripped up by 57, Dawson Riley on the play. No gain, second
So
down.
2nd and 10, and Post Falls is going to take as much time off the clock as they can here as well. And maybe they view as, hey, if we can run off the rest of the clock, going to halftime only down 14-0, we make some halftime adjustments, maybe that.
We can regroup a little bit, yep.
And maybe that's a win in and of itself, right? Minute to go before halftime. 14-0 lead for Coeur d'Alene. Sweep for Felix. And brought down for a loss. Penalty flag comes out at the end again. Could this be against Coeur d'Alene on the tackle? For the moment, that is like back to the 3-yard line. A loss of 5.
Brendan Felix on the carry.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like the pitch sweep plays close to your own end zone.
I mean, you're kind of gambling that your guy can hit the edge before the defense. Looks like Post Falls is going to get bailed out on a penalty here against Coeur d'Alene.
Face mask going to give him that automatic first down.
Yeah, was it the 5-yard incidental or the 15-yard personal? Looks like it was the personal. Yeah, I'm so used to hearing the announcement from our referee, I didn't hear it that time. You know, despite that penalty and the 15 yards, because it was such a significant loss of yardage.
Oh, that's still going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, automatic
there
first
you go,
down.
automatic
Yeah.
first down.
I was going to say, but even as they marked off the yardage, it was still short of the first down marker because there was such a massive loss of yardage on the actual play. But any personal foul carries with it the automatic first down. Now Post Falls has some breathing room. 1st and 10 from their own 22 with 42 seconds to play before halftime.
Against this cover 2, I'd love to see a play action shot in the seam, a little bit post from the inside slot receiver. I think I've seen that Caden Reese can throw that ball.
They give instead to Felix, and Felix again brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That's Dawson Riley again on the tackle there for Coeur d'Alene.
It looks like they're content to go into half.
Yeah, that might be it with 20 seconds to go here before halftime. Officially a 2-yard loss for Felix on the carry. 1-yard loss. And yeah, that'll take us to halftime. So, senior night here at Vikings Field in Coeur d'Alene. The football players were honored prior to the game tonight. The cheerleaders will be honored here at halftime. They're going to do their halftime performance, and then it'll be senior night for the cheerleaders. We will try to bring all of that to you. We're going to take a break and then come back for the halftime festivities. 14-0 Coeur d'Alene here at halftime. Back after this, North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Help dreams come true.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
We're Valley-wide Cooperative. For 100 years, we've been your first choice for residential and commercial propane, fuels, oils, and lubricants. We service HVAC, install water heaters, propane tanks, and accessories. And yes, we'll even deliver right where you need it. Because for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Once again, we have contributed to your ideal college savings program. Love, Grandma and Grandpa.
Ideal. Eventually, they'll appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I love it.
College costs money.
Vikings varsity cheer.
It is halftime here at Vikings Field in Coeur d'Alene. You just saw the tail end of the cheerleaders' performance at halftime, and now it is senior night for the Coeur d'Alene High cheerleaders as well. So we will bring you that coverage here on IdahoSports.com, and then we'll talk a little bit about this football game, 14-0 Coeur d'Alene here at the half. But for now, enjoy senior night festivities.
Unforgettable moments on the timeline. In just a moment, please join us in celebrating the graduating Coeur d'Alene High School varsity cheerleaders, a group of remarkable athletes, leaders, and role models who have left their mark on the Viking Nation. As we call their names, we invite their families to join them on the field and help us celebrate not just their accomplishments, but the memories, friendships, and legacy they leave behind. First up, senior Carly Fiora. Escorted by her parents, Jen Jones and Ronnie Fiora. Next up, Charlie Hidalgo. Charlie is being escorted by Heather and Alex Hidalgo and her siblings. Next up, Logan Hansen, escorted by her parents Blair Williams and Jim Hansen. Next up, senior Clarissa Suska. Clarissa is escorted by her parents Katrina and Rob Suska and her siblings. Next up, senior Madison Lee, escorted by her parents Carolyn and Chris Lee and her brother. Next up, senior Claire Nora Lee Coleman. Claire is being escorted by her parents Kate and Chad Coleman, along with her siblings. Last but certainly not least, senior Lola Joy Brulati. Lola is being escorted by her parents, Lisa and Eric Brulati. Viking fans and family, let's give our senior members of the Viking Varsity Cheer Squad a round of applause and a big thank you for always supporting everything we do on the campus of Coeur d'Alene High School. Viking fans and family, let's give our senior cheer one more big round of applause. Thank you, ladies, for all your time and effort and commitment here on the campus of Coeur d'Alene High School.
I can see how long the line is. It's not. The line might be a bit short. Viking fans, great job coming out tonight, supporting all of these programs here with our 21 varsity Viking football players and our 7 young ladies who have done a fantastic job. And I'm glad they're not done. They've still got a long way to go with our football program, and basketball season coming up just around the corner. I'm so thankful for all their time, commitment. We also want to give a big shout out to the head coach of the varsity cheers, Samantha Moose. Give it up for Samantha. She's done a fantastic job.
Hey, Viking football fans, I've got an update for you. Viking boys freshman team finished the season 8-1 with a 48-8 victory over Post Falls last night. Let's hear it for our freshman football team here at Coeur d'Alene High School. Nice job, gentlemen. Welcome back in. Post Falls Trojans.
It is halftime here at Vikings Field in Coeur d'Alene. We hope you enjoyed the halftime festivities. Senior night for not just the football team, but the cheerleaders as well. Brandon Maney here with James Bailey and Sam Buffington on camera. Hey, real quick, the first half stats. Well, James, you can finish your burger there. I'll go over the stats. You just listen, and then I'll get your analysis. Okay, Post Falls in the first half. 24 total yards of offense, 21 rushing, 3 passing. The leading rusher is Brandon Felix, 13 carries for 27 yards. Marshall Tomlinson has 1 carry for -6, and that's it. Caden Reese, 1 of 6, passing for 3 yards. A lot of drops out there for Post Falls tonight. The one reception was by Cody Matthews, 1 catch for 3 yards. So again, 24 total yards of offense for Post Falls. in the first half. For Coeur d'Alene, 130 total yards of offense, 128 on the ground, only 2 through the air. These teams have combined for 5 passing yards tonight. So Coeur d'Alene, it's been the ground game. Leading rusher is Ty Pollen, 7 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. Tanner Stern, 8 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. And Priest Palmgren, 3 carries for 29 yards. Tanner Stern, 1 of 7 passing, 2 yards. The one completion was to Riley Frazier, 1 catch, 2 yards there. Drops on the Coeur d'Alene side as well. So, James, you ready to be brought back in? No moss on the burger? How many of those did you put away? 2?
Just the double cheeseburger. Yeah, the double.
Oh, the doubler. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Move your mic down a little bit. There you go. Now let me hear you.
Yep. Here, test.
Oh,
yep.
Perfect. Okay.
Good.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your takeaway from that first half of action? We had, the Coeur d'Alene ground game is kind of the story, right? 128 yards. It's really been the only successful endeavor. 24 total yards for Post Falls, 5 yards total passing between the two sides.
Yeah, nothing going for the Post Falls offense so far. It's kind of been the story of drops as far as the passing games goes for both of these teams. So both quarterbacks seems like they've been able to deliver the ball on target for the majority. But that ball must be hard tonight, hitting those receivers' hands hard because not a lot of catches. But yeah, the Coeur d'Alene run game has been there the whole night, and it was consistent for a while. And then as they grew closer to the halftime point, we saw those runs start to bust open for more than 10 yards and ended up in touchdowns. So yeah, Coeur d'Alene rushes gain with Tanner Stern on his feet has been the story of the game so far.
So we will get back into it here. Second half just about ready to get underway. And Post Falls will be kicking off here. Kicking off for the Trojans will be Braden Singleton, the sophomore. Back deep to return for Coeur d'Alene. 2 return guys stand deep. It's going to be Daniel Shoup and Jackson Hackett. This one goes through the end zone for the touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene on offense here, for the first time, leading 14-0. So, 2 veteran coaches that have been doing this for a long time, since the early 90s for both of them. Sean Amos for Coeur d'Alene, Blaine Bennett for Post Falls. We'll see which coach made the adjustments necessary here. I'm really intrigued to see Coeur d'Alene offensively. Do they stick with the ground game? Do they try to incorporate some more screens?
Yep, I'm interested to see what the energy level looks like for the Post Falls defense and what they try to do to slow up this Coeur d'Alene rushing attack. It kind of seemed like earlier in the game they were doing all right, and then the bridge kind of broke, the dam kind of broke, so we'll see what it looks like.
Wind really whipping around here at Vikings Field. They'll start with the run. It is Tanner Stern on the keeper. A gain of 2, and then forced out of bounds there by Cash Creeman. So Stern picks up 2. And again, for the most part, Post Falls has done a nice job limiting, but they've given up just a handful of big runs, like each side, right? 12 yards for Stern, the 9-yard touchdown run, 31 yards for Paulin, and the touchdown, and then the 20-yard run by Palmgren. You take those 3 away, and the rushing numbers, aren't that impressive. Stern, screen, complete. Second completion of the night across the 30, up to the 34-yard line. That's Bennett Jockheck on the reception. So Jockheck moonlighting a little bit here on offense. He's mostly a defensive player, starts at corner, but Coeur d'Alene trying to find something in the passing game. They get the connection there to Jockheck, a gain of 12 and a first down. That's what we talked about with Coach Amos, though. He's not afraid to use guys both ways. Dump it off in the flat this time. That's Shoup, the H-back. And Shoup with the reception, a gain of 12 and a first down. Up to the Coeur d'Alene 47-yard line.
That's another Viking.
Go into halftime, get your hands warmed up a little bit, and you're ready to catch the ball.
Well, all of a sudden, back-to-back 12-yard completions there for Tanner Stern. He's like quadrupled his passing numbers in 2 plays. 11:40 to play in the third. They'll give to Priest Palmgren this time, and Palmgren to the 50, and that's it. So Palmgren is going to pick up 3 there to make it 2nd and 7.
He does a great job lowering his pad level at contact.
Can Post Falls get a stop here? 2nd and 7 for the Vikings. Ball is at the Post Falls 49-yard line. So officially 2nd and a long 6. Stern, quarterback draw, right into the awaiting arms of Alexander Dean. And then finishing off the play at the end there was Damian Hamilton. Hamilton is a fantastic wrestler during the winter for Post Falls. Obviously, the Trojans have the premier wrestling program here in the Inland Empire League. Good takedown there from Hamilton. Only a yard for Stern. Sorry, I feel like I cut you off.
No, you're good. I was just going to comment on the Trojan wrestling programs that I've heard. It's an excellent program.
They and Meridian have competed for the 6A state championship the last several years. 3rd and 5, Stern, deep throw, has a man open. It's caught at the 23-yard line for a first down. Had to come back to get it, but it's Bennett Jockheck for the 2nd time tonight.
Quarterback showing his open field ball skills.
All the way down to the 24-yard line. That is a gain of 24 and a first down. And now Coeur d'Alene quickly, nothing doing there. Incomplete. Oh, no, they do complete it to Jockheck, but it's for no gain. Well, that's going to hurt the old yards per catch average. Jockheck is saying, you guys should have used me on offense the whole time. I mean, he's a great corner as well, but boy, Jockheck with 3 receptions in a row. Option, Stern escapes the lasso inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line. So Stern, as our PA guy says, Tanner Stern doing the dance. Yeah, it's a gain of 6 to make it 3rd and 4. Coeur d'Alene feeling the momentum here, up 14-0, 9:25 to play in the 3rd. It is 3rd and 4 for the Vikings from the Post Falls 18-yard line. Stern changing the play at the line here. Now we'll get back in the pistol with Palmgren. Stern fakes and keeps off the edge right side. Nothing doing. Post Falls there to shut it down. That's Damian Hamilton again in on the action for the Trojans defensively, and then Jackson Harvey finished it off. That is going to be no gain for Stern. And it is 4th down and 4. Coeur d'Alene offense going to stay out there and go for it, or do they take a timeout and discuss it? What would you do here, James?
4th down and 4, up 14-0. I'm not sure how much confidence you have in your kicker. I think you've got a lot of space to just try ahead and put the game away a little bit, get some more distance. I'd say go for it.
Yeah, so remember, Coeur d'Alene did line up for a 30-yard field goal in the first half. This would be, let's see, ball's at the 18-yard line. This would be a 35-yard field goal try. The 30-yard try was blocked. Remember, the kick came out really low. Post Falls blocked that field goal in the first quarter. And so I'm with you. I think you keep your offense out there, you go for it, and if you don't pick up the first down, you're trusting your defense enough to, I mean, they've shut out Post Falls so far. So they've given up 24 total yards defensively. Yeah, you trust your defense that, hey, if we don't convert here, I feel pretty good about my defense rolling again against the Trojans.
Your run game's been solid all night. Let's put the dagger in. 21. Go up 21-0. Yeah, I like going for it here. And it's hard to not run the ball in short down situations with Palmgren right now. He's running like a freight train.
So out of the timeout, 4th down and 4 here for the Coeur d'Alene Vikings. Stern, back to pass, feeling the heat, gets it off, it's complete, inside the 15, inside the 10, and down to the 2-yard line. Stern went from a near sack on 4th down to a 1st and goal on the completion to Daniel Shoup.
I thought that was going to be a loss of 10 yards from the sack there on 4th down. He made a great late second play.
And a gain of 16. Oh, no, Jockheck, they say, on that reception. Wow, he's come alive in this second half. First and goal from the 2. Stern trying to get there, will not. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Second and goal from the 2 now. Boy, how did he find? I mean, Stern's a tall guy, right? 6'4" probably, and
that was an impressive play. Dart right into the middle. I'm just impressed he found that receiver open.
And they push the pile again. Down to the 1. And was that Stern again?
No, that was a handoff. I didn't quite see who that ball went to, though.
That was Ty Paulin on the carry there. Down to the 1. So third and goal from the 1 here for Coeur d'Alene, up 14-0, 7:20 to play here in the third. Now they'll go under center for the tush push, and no signal. He is not in. Fourth and goal from the 1. Wow, talk about that Trojan defense.
Post Falls defense deciding the game is not over yet.
They try the tush push, but they found out that the Coeur d'Alene center, Dylan Mehmet's not quite Jason Kelsey. And they found out Tanner Stern's not quite Jalen Hurts.
You got to squat 750 pounds.
You know, you got a beard that would rival Jason Kelsey's, though, James. Fourth and goal from the 1. Mitchell, the man in motion, out of the gun. They give to Palmgren, and he's in for the touchdown on 4th and goal. Post Falls made contact before the end zone, but Palmgren just kind of falls forward and he's in.
Palmgren having a big night.
Yeah, only his 5th carry of the night, but he's run for 34 yards and a touchdown. And now that he's the 3rd different Coeur d'Alene rusher to score tonight. Ty Paulin from 31 yards out, Stern from 9, and then they're getting shorter and shorter. Paulin from 31, Stern from 9, Palmgren from 1. Coeur d'Alene says we'll take it. And the extra point by Lopez is through as well. 21-0 Coeur d'Alene. Back right after this. You're watching North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Back on North Idaho Game Night, IdahoSports.com from Vikings Field in Coeur d'Alene, where Coeur d'Alene now finds themselves up 21-0 thanks to the 1-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal, no less, from Priest Palmgren.
Those 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university.
And hang tight there, Ideal. We'll play you on the next commercial break. Here's the kickoff from Lopez. On the return, this is Matthews with room to run. The 30, and slips out of bounds at the 33-yard line. He saw he saw Oliver straight on coming for him, and he says, yeah, I'll just duck out. Good return, though.
I think he noticed that whole, in addition to Oliver, that whole wall of black and blue coming for him. Not a lot of space at the end there, but good return.
The way they've been hitting tonight, yeah, you're going to feel black and blue when this one's all said and done.
You know, maybe this is this drive starts beyond the 30 as opposed to inside the 10. So,
this might be the first time tonight where Post Falls has started a drive
with some reasonable field position.
Yeah. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans now, trailing 21-0. Reese out of the gun, going to take a deep shot for Connor. Carver overshoots him incomplete. Jock Heck on the coverage. So he goes, hey, not only am I now the leading receiver in the game, but yeah, I'm going mano-a-mano with the 6'4" Connor Carver. Jock Heck maybe 5'10".
He's right back out there making it happen, playing both ways like you talked about pregame.
But again, it's all to the sidelines, nothing over the middle.
Yeah, I'd love to see something over the middle, but I do like coming out and taking a shot. You're down 21-0. Things got to happen pretty quickly here. Let's start trying to make something happen. So I like the opening throw.
And it could be counterintuitive if you have to pass a little more
to open things up.
Maybe when you go to Felix, then it gives him some breathing room to run. 2nd and 10. Reese over the middle. It's caught across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. They go over the middle. Good things happen. That is Wesley Diaz with his first reception on the night. It's a gain of 8, and it's 2nd and 2.
I think if they can attack that space behind the linebackers and underneath the safeties, you get those linebackers thinking about that a little bit, like you said, and then Felix gets some room to run.
And they're actually going to call that a gain of 9 to make it 3rd and 1 here for Post Falls. From the Coeur d'Alene 42-yard line, they've got to get to the 43 for the first down. They go spread, 3 receivers to the top, single receiver to the bottom is Carver. They go to Felix, and Felix nowhere to go, suplexed, and a big defensive stop there for Coeur d'Alene. Charging through was the senior defensive end. Great tackle by Rylan Peterson.
That possession felt like it might have had something, but he put an end to that.
So 4th down, Post Falls will punt here. Navarrete, it's a fake! They snap it to the up back, and he does not make it. They try the fake punt with Marshall Tomlinson, the up back. Tomlinson needed 3 yards, only got 2.
Almost got it.
Almost, but, oh man, if that 3rd down play wasn't a loss of yardage, you get it on 4th down.
I like the play call. It's getting late in the 3rd quarter. You're down 21-0. The other team isn't quite expecting anything tricky yet. It's honestly a great time to try for a fake punt. Yeah, I think that was a great spot for it. Just couldn't quite make it happen.
So a turnover on downs. Back to Coeur d'Alene here. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings from the Post Falls. Another drive for Coeur d'Alene starting inside Trojan territory. 1st and 10, 4 wide. Stern back to pass. Has time, taking a deep shot, has a man all alone. It's Frazier for the touchdown. 1 play, 42 yards, and a touchdown strike. Boy, Riley Frazier got the beat on his man, and Stern laid it up perfectly for the touchdown.
He had all kinds of space.
And time, right?
That ball honestly was a little bit underthrown, but it didn't matter. There was so much separation. He could have underthrown that ball 10 yards.
And Lopez, extra point is through once again, 28-0 Coeur d'Alene. Here on senior night, they can taste it. The Inland Empire League title within their sights. 4:40 to play in the 3rd, and the Vikings now up 4 scores. Back right after this, it's North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
$28-0 Coeur d'Alene here from Vikings Field on North Idaho game night, IdahoSports.com senior night here for the Vikings, and a win tonight would give them the Inland Empire League Championship. Coeur d'Alene does have one more game next week against Life Christian Academy, the Eagles from Tacoma, Washington. Post Falls, meanwhile, will wrap up with a home game against Lake City next Friday night. Here's the kick return by Matthews up to the 30 and out to the 31-yard line. So we were talking in the break there, James. Post Falls, 4th and 3. They try the fake punt, don't get it. Coeur d'Alene gets the ball at the 42-yard line. A lot of coaches will tell you after a turnover, whether it's a takeaway by the defense or a turnover on downs, you want to go for that home run shot on the very first play. It's exactly what Tanner Stern did, 42 yards to Riley Frazier.
Big deep ball pass. Yep, putting that nail in the coffin, 28-0. Momentum is yours. Starting to feel like it's getting a little out of hand for Post Falls. Let's see if they can try to pull this game back into something reasonable.
Yeah, Trojans really have their work cut out for them, down 28-0, 4:36 to play here in the third. Reese going to sling it. Screen pass complete to Connor Carver. And Carver will maneuver ahead for 2 to make it 2nd and 8.
I'm not sure what happened at halftime, but I don't think there's been a drop by a wide receiver since. So we're actually catching the ball now.
Some words of encouragement from each coaching staff, I'm sure. Yeah. Or like you said, maybe just getting the hands warm, right? Second down and 7 here for the Trojans after that 3-yard connection to Carver on first down on the screen. Reese with plenty of time, taking a deep shot for Carver. All sorts of contact, and there's the flag for pass interference on Riley Frazier. That one pretty clear.
That one was, he was up in his face quite a bit.
So this will be a 15-yard penalty.
Have to give the wide receiver an opportunity to make a move towards the ball. And if you're blocking that, by definition.
I mean, Frazier was making contact like before the ball was even in the air on Carver. So 15-yard pass interference penalty there on Riley Frazier. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans. We talked about it. Coach Amos not afraid to play his guys both ways. Riley Frazier, Bennett Jockheck, Tanner Stern.
A lot of boys out there getting a lot of experience.
No doubt. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Best field position in some time from their own 49-yard line. Reese going to sling it, caught by Matthews on the out route up to the Coeur d'Alene 45-yard line. Nice pitch and catch of 6 there to make it 2nd and 4. And that's the thing as a quarterback, right? A couple of completed passes, you get a rhythm, the complexion totally changes.
Yep. Post Falls Trojans look like they actually have a passing game. I was kind of wondering when Matthews might catch a ball and make some things happen. So it's good to see him catching it and having some space to move.
I mean, he was the only Trojan with a catch in the first half. It was for 3 yards. So it's his 2nd grab of the night, 2 for 9 now. And on this night for Post Falls, it makes him the clubhouse leader.
There you go. Well, we got another empty set.
5 wide, Matthews the man in motion. Reese looking to the short side, complete to Carver on the curl. Out of bounds at the 39-yard line, another 6-yard pitch and catch and a 1st down. And Carver now has 2 catches for 9 yards, so he is now tied with Matthews for the lead.
Well, they're in the rhythm now.
3:30 to play in the third. Post Falls trailing 28-0. I had an old football coach that used to say, hey, you just got to start eating that elephant one bite at a time, right? Work on the next play and the next play. And it can be a little overwhelming to look at and you're down 4 scores. You just got to get 1 score right now. Empty again. Reese over the middle. That's picked. Intercepted at the 30-yard line. On the return, this is Ian Dolan. Down the sideline. The 30. Still going. The 20. The 10. The 5. Pick 6. Coeur d'Alene. Ian Dolan.
Well, that's the thing about throwing the ball over the middle sometimes. The zone linebackers sitting right underneath the route.
So Ian Dolan with the 76-yard pick 6. And Coeur d'Alene scores a defensive touchdown. Dahlin read that route. It was almost like the pass was thrown to him. And then a great return. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of the play against the Trojans. And so now Coeur d'Alene, they'll move it to the 1 yard line. Oh no, it'll be enforced on the kickoff. So Frankie Lopez will come on. He is 4 for 4 on point after kicks tonight, trying to go 5 for 5. Frankie Lopez, the junior. And Coeur d'Alene feeling it.
That elephant got a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Might need a shovel to start taking those bites one at a time rather than a fork. And again, what's on the line for Coeur d'Alene tonight? A win. They are the Inland Empire League champions for the 3rd year in a row. They will get a top 4 seed into the 6A playoffs, a first-round bye, and a home game for the quarterfinals. Lopez to kick, Shoop to hold, and Mehmet, the center, to snap it. And Lopez nails it. 35-0 Coeur d'Alene on the 76-yard pick six from Ian Dahlin. 2:59 to play in the 3rd, and Coeur d'Alene rocking and rolling on senior night. Back right after this, you're watching North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Back here at Vikings Field on IdahoSports.com, Brandon Maney alongside James Bailey and Sam Buffington. Sam just gave me a score update here, James, just across town here in Coeur d'Alene. Lake City entertaining Lewiston tonight, non-conference game. End of 3. Lake City 0, Lewiston 0.
Okay.
Something in the air tonight.
That's
Post Falls stuck on 0.
Theme of the night, yeah. Offense is struggling, or maybe just excellent defense. I hope the latter.
Yeah, I think it's the defense coming to play for sure. That personal foul was against the Vikings, not on Post Falls. So Frankie Lopez kicking off from his own 25-yard line here. This should be interesting. Post Falls will have a great opportunity. Matthews to get downhill. Will field it at the 19-yard line. He slides down at the 34-yard line. Again, didn't want the contact, didn't want the trouble. And bearing down on that coverage was Ty Paulin. Okay, interesting.
I'm not sure what that means about the effort to be expected moving forward. So,
well, I guess maybe live to fight. Hey, we know we need him on offense.
Yeah.
You know what? You're more valuable to us on offense than trying to squeeze out a couple yards on a return. And Post Falls now down 35-0, 2:55 to play here in the 3rd. Reese out of the pistol, gives up the middle. Got to check the running back here. Not sure if that was Felix or somebody new. Yeah, it's a new running back in there. Tomlinson gets the carry there, and Tomlinson for 5 yards.
Tomlinson, the ball carrier. Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd down and 5.
With that run, Tomlinson nudges back into the positive side of rushing. He had that carry for -6 in the first half. That was his only carry. Then he had the 2 yards on the fake punt. Now 5 yards there officially to give him 1 yard of net rushing. Tomlinson gets the carry again. We'll pick up 2 this time to set up 3rd and 3. And that was Dawson Riley in on the tackle there for Coeur d'Alene. So Tomlinson, the main back, they've kind of gone to a heavier package with the tight end. We haven't seen him a lot in there tonight. Coden Foreman, the 6-foot senior at tight end for Post Falls. And now Tomlinson will check out. And I believe Felix came back in. We'll have to check here on 3rd and 3. More like 3rd and 2 here for the Trojans. They're going to go empty, so no running back in there. Reese alone. Back to pass. Trying to find somewhere to go. Now slings it back across the middle. It's complete to Carver at the 50-yard line to the 45 and brought down at the Coeur d'Alene 43-yard line. So Reese from his own 43 to the Coeur d'Alene 43. That is a gain of 13 and a first down.
It was a nice play under pressure. Find that open guy in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he thought, oh, I'm going to take off and run with it. That door closed pretty quickly, so he pivoted back to his right. And then Carver, big tall guy, right, easy to find, sitting right at the 50-yard line. Yes, great play under pressure, like you said. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Ball at the Coeur d'Alene 44. 50 seconds and rolling here in this 3rd quarter. Tomlinson gets the call again and will plunge ahead to the 40, a gain of 4. And it's 2nd and 6.
Tomlinson, the ball carrier. 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5.
Probably one more play in this 3rd quarter here. 30 seconds and rolling. Trojans will have to run one more here on the play clock. A little momentum for the Trojans. They had some momentum on that previous drive until Ian Dolan had the 76-yard pick six. 10 seconds to go. Reese out of the pistol. We'll give to Tomlinson on a counter right side. Tomlinson, room to run. Tomlinson inside the 20 and down around the 19-yard line.
That was a nice cut on the edge by Tomlinson.
That is a gain of 21, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans inside the Coeur d'Alene red zone when we begin our 4th quarter of play. It's the Vikings, though, on the verge of another Inland Empire League championship on top 35-0 as we go to the 4th quarter. It's North Idaho game night on IdahoSports.com.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
As Idahoans, we're not afraid to take risks.
All the way, all the way. Go. All the way down, all the way down.
Driving under the influence is not a risk we're willing to take. Be around to do more of what you love.
Good times never seemed so good. Sweet Caroline playing here at Vikings Field on North Idaho game night. IdahoSports.com. Brandon Bainey alongside James Bailey and Sam Buffington doing a fantastic job on camera tonight for us. 35-0 Coeur d'Alene as we start the 4th quarter of play, but it is 1st and 10 for the Post Falls Trojans at the Coeur d'Alene 20-yard line. Can the Trojans get that first score of the night? Nearly intercepted on a throw to the end zone. Great coverage defensively there that time from Hudson Gray, the junior. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Man, if that pass had been a little bit out towards the boundary, I think we'd see 6 points right now. But yeah, great play by that safety.
And I believe they were trying to go to Carver again there on the fade to the end zone. 2nd and 10 for the Trojans, 11:55 to play. We mentioned it, a win tonight by Coeur d'Alene. They win the Inland Empire League title. Post Falls with the loss here tonight if this score holds. Probably eliminated from postseason contention based on the at-large mathematical formula from Max Preps. Tomlinson is going to carry ahead for a yard, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. Or excuse me, 3rd and 8 after that first pass was incomplete. And it's actually 3rd and 9. So I literally got nothing right about that.
It's okay. We can give you some grace.
It's been a while since I've actually done one of these games. I've done color the last couple of weeks, and my color has consisted of me putting in scores in the background and then occasionally chiming in, yeah, that was a great play.
Well, you've called 99% of the plays correct. So
3rd and 9 for the Trojans from the Coeur d'Alene 18. Reese runs into his back. Tomlinson throws the screen to Matthews. Matthews tackled for a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th and 10.
Good closing by the safety there.
This Coeur d'Alene defense is fast. They fly around. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Ty Paulin in on that tackle. Another guy playing both ways, right? Running back, linebacker. Coeur d'Alene's not your typical 6A program. You know, those bigger schools, they say, we've got the guys. We're just going to have one side of the ball, keep them fresh. And Coach Amos says, hey, if you can play and contribute on both sides, you know, I'm not opposed to it. So maybe being tested on that more this year with all of the injuries that have piled up. But 4th and 10. Reese feeling the heat. Steps away from one man in the second and will be about 2 yards shy of the first down there. So Reese is able to scramble ahead for 8. That is his first run of the night, but Coeur d'Alene will take over on downs. And now with 10:18 to play, maybe a steady dose of the run game.
I'm thinking so.
Put this one to bed, right? Coeur d'Alene on the verge of returning to the 6A postseason.
What's that matchup likely to look like? They're going to have probably a bye week, having
Correct.
won the Inland Empire.
Yep.
What's that first game likely to be as far as the teams go?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll give you the answer here in a moment. They're going to start 1st and 10. This is Ty Paulin. Paulin with a nice run out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 13 and a first down. His first carry of this second half. Our current bracketology on IdahoSports.com. This is where I take the Max Preps rankings, I take the standings, I project, hey, if the playoffs started today, what would the matchups be? Right now, Coeur d'Alene would play the winner of, according to our projections, Capital and Madison.
Okay.
Either way, that would be a really fun, Madison probably wins that game with Capital. Madison, Coeur d'Alene in the quarterfinals? Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up for more of this, too. Across the 50, the 45, that's Ty Paulin again for the first down.
Ty Paulin with a big run on the outside.
It's a nice patient run, just waiting for that gap to open up.
That is a gain of 32 and a first down for Ty Paulin.
That's another Viking.
1st and 10 for Coeur d'Alene. And ball at the post falls 40. It's Paulin again. Actually, Mitchell on the reception. Inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone for the touchdown. A short pass, and then George Mitchell does the rest. 42-yard touchdown from Stern to Mitchell. His second 42-yard touchdown of the night. One to Frazier, and now one to Mitchell. And again, Lopez on for the point after, nails it.
Lopez has got in some work tonight.
He's going to have to ice his leg down after the game. 6 for 6 on point afters. And Stern with his second 42-yard touchdown pass tonight. This one to George Mitchell. May have cemented IdahoSports.com player of the game status, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. We'll obviously discuss that on the postgame show, but boy, 42-0 Coeur d'Alene with 9:10 to play. Back right after this. You're watching North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
So, what's next? Your path doesn't have to look like theirs. You can do this, or this, or this. Check out in-demand jobs in Idaho and get up to $8,000 to find your thing.
Hey, it worked really well the last time, so Sweet Caroline again. Good times never seemed so good. Especially now 42-0 Coeur d'Alene after the 42-yard touchdown pass from Tanner Stern to George Mitchell. And now Lopez Squibber past the up man, past the second man, finally falls on it at the 20-yard line. That is Jackson Harvey. 1st and 10 here for the Trojans with 9:10 to play. I think they're asking something about the clock maybe. Yeah. No time went off the clock on that kickoff, so they're going to put 9. Oh, they just asked for the running clock.
I believe they asked for the running clock now.
Yep.
With that 42-point lead.
So the rule is with the running clock, any team that is up by 40 or more points in the second half of a contest, that running clock starts. And so it only stops if Post Falls uses one of their timeouts. Incomplete passes, plays out of bounds, clock still rolls. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. 8.5 to play. Reese going to sling it. That's caught. Again, just a screen and complete to Tyler Kern, the senior, his first reception on the night. Gain of nothing. 2nd and 10.
You got a lot of fresh faces still on that Post Falls Trojans offense. I think this is a good time to try to put some pieces together offensively. Start getting some plays that work, and you're still down 42-0, but you're starting to think about the rest of the season. You're starting to think about what your team's going to look like, right? And
well, I mean, they got the one game left next week against Lake City, probably not going to the playoffs. So if I'm Coach Bennett, I'm looking for who are my leaders going to be for next year.
Yeah.
Who's setting the tone for the offseason? Reese gives to Tomlinson, up the middle, gain of a couple maybe. And so, you think about a lot of the guys we've seen tonight. Brandon Felix, he's a senior. The quarterback, Reese, is a senior. A lot of these defensive guys are seniors, but I'm looking at, Cody Matthews is a junior. Marshall Tomlinson is a junior. The two Cashes on defense, the defensive tackles, Cash Preston and Cash Creeman are both juniors.
Their defense actually looks pretty young. They're going to be having a lot of seniors leaving on the offensive side. But
yeah, especially up front. But, like Jackson Harvey, the young sophomore safety, has played really well in spurts tonight. So, I mean, there are some guys that you can build around for next season. Deep shot, incomplete, intended receiver that time was Cashton Bodman, another one of those juniors. Meanwhile, Sam Buffington giving me the update here. 4th quarter, Inland Empire League 5A edition. So Lewiston beat Sandpoint last week pretty decidedly. Sandpoint and Lakeland playing tonight, and then Lakeland and Lewiston next Friday on IdahoSports.com. Right now, Sandpoint leading Lakeland in the 4th quarter with 5:37 to play, 28-21.
Oh, close game.
Punt from Navarrete. Fair catch called for by Shoup and made. So that could really set up. Now if Sandpoint defeats Lakeland and that score holds, Lewiston with a win over Lakeland wins the Inland Empire League next week, the 5A edition. But let's say Lakeland beats Lewiston. Now you've got a 3-way tie for first, and everybody's beating each other, and it's only the 3 teams.
What are the rules in that case? How do we decide that?
I think they would go to some type of point differential tiebreaker. In the past when it was like playoff spots were on the line, they would come to a Kansas City tiebreaker, basically a jamboree, like the Monday after the season ended. But now, all 3 of those teams are probably going to get in thanks to Max Preps. It's just a matter of figuring out who's the league champ and who gets the home playoff game, probably some sort of point differential. Also on IdahoSports.com tonight, Kendrick leading Logos 34-16 in the second half there. That's kind of what I love about IdahoSports.com, as that pass complete, but a penalty flag as well. So we'll see what they call here. But we have a lot of games, of course, that over in East Idaho and down south that are, in the mountain time zone. But those games have all wrapped up. We're kind of like the Pac-12 when it existed. Pac-12 after dark. We're kind of North Idaho after dark. We're the last show in town. So everybody at home over in the other part of the state, tuning in, watching what's going on up here in North Idaho. That was a holding call there against the Vikings, so it'll be 1st and 15 now. Looks like new quarterback in there for Coeur d'Alene as well, starting to get some of the backups in. Snap and a handoff, and not much room to run there. Gain him only a yard. On the carry that time for the Vikings was Oliver Strait, the junior. And the new quarterback, I think, is that 8 or 9? The numbers are kind of hard to read on this Coeur d'Alene team. I'll try to get who that QB is. They'll fake there. It's Daniel Shoup in at quarterback, actually. So Shoup goes from H-back to quarterback. Sam with another final score across the wire here. We were talking about that defensive barn burner across town tonight. Final score, Lake City 6, Lewiston 0. Wow, the Timberwolves get the win, 6-0. Boy, that Lewiston-Lakeland game next week on IdahoSports.com is going to be, I can't remember, are you on the schedule for that one, James?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, we'll check. I know Ryan Skaggs is going to be there, so that's going to be a really fun one next week. 3 minutes to go in this one, and meanwhile, quarterback run goes nowhere. It was a read option play, and Shoup just swallowed up. It'll be 4th down, and we may see Coeur d'Alene punt for the 2nd time tonight. Oh, flag, hold on.
So it's a face mask there.
Is it a 15-yarder? Yes, it is. Personal foul, face mask. So no punt tonight. Second. So only one punt on the Coeur d'Alene ledger. And now, I don't know, 2.5 to go. Coeur d'Alene can probably run the clock out here with the reserves. Should be an automatic 1st down. Still says 3rd and 5 with the chain game.
Still says 3rd and 5.
Oh, that should be an automatic 1st down, but whatever. We may yet see our 2nd punt tonight. I'm holding out hope here for Frankie Lopez. Loss of 2, 4th down now, I guess. So, yeah, Lopez will come on to punt. 2 minutes to go. Post Falls will get it back one last time here. It'll be Jackson Harvey on the return, standing at his own 38-yard line. Coeur d'Alene, 1:50 away from the Inland Empire League Championship, the IEL. And like you said, with so many guys banged up, we know Caden Simmons isn't coming back this year. I didn't have time to go over the whole injury report with Coeur d'Alene, but maybe some of these guys that are missing, Ben Murray, or really the receivers, Gibson, Comstock, Maddox, Lindquist, maybe, okay, next week you don't really have much to play for. Your position is set. Doesn't matter if you win or lose to Life Christian Academy. Just an opportunity to keep your guys fresh. Then you have a bye in the 1st round. That's like 2 weeks to heal up. That's huge.
Maybe you get some of those guys back. Yeah, from the CDA Sandpoint game that I announced, Comstock seems like he put up some huge numbers. He seems like he's definitely a huge part of this offense, being able to take the top off of a defense. And, yeah, it would definitely make them a lot more competitive having him back.
Delay a game, and now the punt from Lopez. Fair catch called for with 1:20 to go here. Yeah, on the season, Comstock is the leading receiver. 18 catches, 416 yards, 8 touchdowns.
8 touchdowns on 18 catches.
Yes.
He scores every other time he touches the ball.
Pretty remarkable. And then Maddox Lindquist, 10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns there. And both those guys play on defense as well. So, yeah, Comstock, leading receiver. And that was a big question coming into the year for Coeur d'Alene. They lost of their top 6 pass catchers last year. 5 of the 6 graduated.
Oh, wow.
Ben Murray was actually the top receiver coming back, and the question was, okay, can all of these new guys step in and fill the void? And the answer is yes. And it's been multiple guys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Coeur d'Alene's got eight different receivers that have caught a touchdown this year. Now, that's including Caden Simmons, who, mostly played quarterback, but they did throw a couple fades to him at the goal line and stuff. So really of the true receivers, 7 different receivers have caught a touchdown pass this year, and that will be the final play. As the clock expires and the celebration is on, the Coeur d'Alene Vikings, once again, Inland Empire League champions. And now the Vikings will get a top 4 seed into the 6A playoffs, a first-round bye, and a home quarterfinal date against everyone's favorite opponent, TBD, to be determined. We do know up next for Coeur d'Alene next week is their season finale against Life Christian Academy, the Eagles from Tacoma, Washington, and for Post Falls. And the Vikings, by the way, 2-0 in the IEL, 5-3 overall now. Post Falls drops to 3-5 on the season, 0-1 in IEL play. A chance to finish their season off strong. Senior night next Friday. Actually, I think it's on Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday at home against Lake City there for Post Falls. And a chance to finish their season on a high note. Playoffs probably not in the cards this year, though, for the Trojans. Probably going to miss out on the playoffs for the first time since 2021. Well, we'll take a break and come back with the IdahoSports.com postgame show, where we will hand out our coveted IdahoSports.com Player of the Game honors. So don't go anywhere. Coeur d'Alene wins tonight 42-0. Back right after this. It's North Idaho Game Night on IdahoSports.com.
Idaho's 529 can be used at any in-state or out-of-state 2- or 4-year college or university. Can be used at a trade school for an apprenticeship.
Whatever it is that your kid is interested in, that's available for them to use the fund.
I really like the flexibility. It gives Wild the opportunity to pursue a whole array of training.
So whatever your child's passion is, you can support that.
To learn more, go to idsaves.org.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
When it's time to get health insurance, Your Health Idaho is the place to go. It's Idaho's health insurance marketplace, where you can shop and compare plans from well-known insurance companies and lower your monthly premium with a tax credit you can't get anywhere else. Plus, certified local agents can find you the right plan for free. More coverage, less cost. Only at yourhealthidaho.org. See how much you could save.
We do things differently in Idaho. Sometimes we go east to find west, where muddy trails meet huckleberry smiles.
Stars shine electric, and the wind smells like destiny. Sure, our traffic jams are strange, and not all our steaks are ribeyes. But wherever we go, our eyes never leave the road. Belts strapped and dreams packed, no distractions, no phones, focused. From here to there, it's who we are.
Welcome into the IdahoSports.com post-game show. One final time from Vikings Field where the celebration is on. Coeur d'Alene, a 42-0 victory over Post Falls, and for the third year in a row, Inland Empire League champions. They'll get a first-round bye for the playoffs, a home quarterfinal date as well. 2 weeks to really, they have an opponent next week, Life Christian Academy, but for all these injured Vikings, really 2 weeks to rest up and get right for the state quarterfinals in November. November football in Coeur d'Alene, what could be better? Brandon Maney back here with James Bailey and Sam Buffington. Sam, you got any more final scores to pass along? Oh, Timberline beats Rocky Mountain 31-20. So now the top four is set in 6A football, James. Rigby the champs from the east, Coeur d'Alene the champs from the north, and Eagle and Timberline will play for the Southern Idaho Conference Championship next week. So that's your top four.
Okay.
And they will automatically all host quarterfinal games. Wow, Rocky Mountain loses. That's a surprising result. They were the number one team in every poll by every metric, and so very interesting development there. We've got one more point of order here, and that is our IdahoSports.com player of the game. It is presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distractions. Well, there were some worthy candidates tonight. Ty Paulin ran the ball well, but so did Priest Palmgren. So after all of that, we decide let's give it to the quarterback, Tanner Stern, tonight. 52 yards rushing and a touchdown, and 9 of 14 passing for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. James, I think what's most impressive is he had 2 yards passing in the first half, which means he threw for 148 yards in the second half.
Yeah, definitely his dual threat capability was something that had to be respected from the offense tonight, and that showed in the statistics. So, yeah.
Once again, Tanner Stern, junior quarterback for Coeur d'Alene High, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Brought to you by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety, reminding you to always keep your head in the game, whether you're on the field or on the road. Be in the moment and free from distraction. Well, that'll do it for this IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of North Idaho Game Night, presented by Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, Next Steps Idaho, Ideal, Idaho's College Savings Program, Your Health Idaho, and the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Coeur d'Alene wins by the final score of 42-0 over Post Falls on their senior night, and they are the Inland Empire League champions once again here in Coeur d'Alene. For James Bailey and Sam Buffington, big thanks to Tony Perka, the athletic director here at Coeur d'Alene High School. Really took care of us tonight. Made sure we were set up in a great spot to broadcast. And again, 42-0 the final, led by Tanner Stern, our IdahoSports.com player of the game, presented by the Idaho Office of Highway Safety. Now, for James Bailey and Sam Buffington, I'm Brandon Maney. Until next time, good night, everybody, and God bless from IdahoSports.com.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of IdahoSports.com is strictly prohibited.